Hi guys, welcome to the second part of this week's Coffee and Hero show. Already covered pre-comic book day, now we're going to be moving on to what's new into the store this week. So it's a smaller pile than usual. I'll leave you to figure out why. There was supposed to be a bunch of other stuff that was arriving today and it just hasn't. So we're going to be waiting for the delivery for next week for that. But still some great stuff. One or two graphics we've been waiting on for quite some time to come out, hitting this week, so great to see. I mean, we've been topping up our back issue, our back catalogue of graphic novels as well. The store is packed out to the gills with choice for this free comic book day. So, and again, there will be 10% off all graphic novels. Doesn't matter if they're brand new into the store, 10% blanket off on the day. So we'll kick things off with an epic collection, which is Thunderbolts, Wanted Dead or Alive. Recently, the first Thunderbolts epic collection came out. Not too long ago. So this is volume 2. This is covering Thunderbolts 13 to 25 and issue 0. Captain America and Citizen versus Annual 1998 and Avengers number 12. So this covers the 1998 and 1999 era of Thunderbolts. Next up is Star Wars The High Republic. So this is Shadows of Starlight. This was a mini-series set in the High Republic era. It was a 4-issue mini-series predominantly written by Charles Soule. Art by David Messina, and that is the complete collection there. Next up we have Destiny Gate. So this is from Ryan Cady, who's worked on stuff like Haunt You to the End and Batman. Art is by Christian DeBarry, who did Revolvers, Magdalena. So this is a horror title set during the Great Depression. So that is through Image Comics. Next up is The Savage Strength of Starstorms. This is from Drew Craig. Drew Craig is Wes Craig's brother. Wes Craig, of course, who did Deadly Class, is currently doing Kaya and all that kind of stuff. But this is great in its own right from Drew Craig. It's very much a love letter to sort of 70s and 80s Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era superheroics. So really recommended that. I read that in single issues. Next up is the latest volume of Joss Whedon's Firefly, Return to the Earth That Was. So we're as far now as volume 3 of that. This collects Firefly 33 to 36. Next up, this is a convention exclusive hardcover for one of Brubaker and Phillips' best titles, which is Killer Be Killed. Really, really good stuff. A little step outside of the norm for them. It actually incorporated some supernatural elements into it. One of the things that was supposed to arrive this week was, as I talk about convention exclusives with those hardcovers, we were supposed to get Witches, the Scott Snyder Jock horror title, in this week in a convention exclusive hardcover set, but again, didn't arrive. Next up is Coda. We're as far as volume 3 now. We got volume 1 and 2 in recently. Of course, they did a hardcover collection for this that sold very well recently. But if you do prefer the trades and the thinner volumes, then this is the way to go. And this is volume 3. As I say, with volume 1 and 2 downstairs. Back in stock, even though it only came out like a week or two ago, is Zatanna. And, this has been selling out like that. Just one of the all-time great runs for DC that has been long out of print. Great to see it back in print in this kind of edition. So collect Zatanna 1 to 16 and Zatanna Everyday Magic, predominantly by Paul Dini. Next up is a new volume for Carnage. So Carnage went back to number 1. Torun Grombeck took over the writing duties. And Pere Perez is the artist on this. This jumps into proper Carnage horror stuff. This has been great. Really good art. Really, really dark, horrific art. And I remember when it was coming out, it sort of came with a warning of, this is one of Marvel's most violent titles in quite some time. And they weren't kidding. Next up, we have Dark Souls, the complete collection. So this is from Titan Comics. This is collecting together a bunch of mini-series printed in the last couple of years on Dark Souls. So you've got Dark Souls, The Breath of Andulas, Dark Souls, Winter Spite, Dark Souls, Legends of the Flame, and Dark Souls, Age of Fire, all collected into one lovely volume. Next up, Disney Villains and Maleficent. So this looks like it's going to be the size for these Dynamite Disney Villains books. Makes sense, aimed at a younger audience, so therefore aimed at a smaller hand. But this is the first of, will no doubt be many. We'll be getting all of these in, popular in store. A new Mighty Marvel Masterworks this week as well. So we have the latest volume of Daredevil. This is volume 3 in the Mighty Marvel Masterworks. And this collects Daredevil 22 to 32. So you always get a good 10 to 11 issues in those. Definitely one we're excited about this week, though again, we didn't get as many copies as we should have. is the Enfield Gang Massacre. So Chris Condon, Jacob Phillips. This is set in the That Texas Blood world. This is set 100 years before a lot of the events of That Texas Blood back in the Old West. One of the best comics of the last year or two. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And they've even printed it on sort of like older style, almost recycled paper that just fits that sort of pulpy feel to it. Just a lot of cares went in this book, but great storytelling, great art, most importantly. Next up is the first volume of Superior Spider-Man, so recently brought back from Dan Slott. Mark Bagley, essentially a follow-up to the Superior storyline where Doc Ock was in Peter's body and was able to be Spider-Man. And this is the follow-up to that, so they all have knowledge of the events that came before. Really, really good stuff. That great Mark Bagley art as well. Next up is Sandman Universe Nightmare Country. We've had this in hardcover for a while, but it's now hitting trade paperback. So James Tynion IV on that, and Lissandro Esteron on art. The latest volume of She-Hulk, Gensational. This is actually where comics can get complicated a little bit, because it says volume 4 on the side. It is volume 4 of Rainbow Rowell's run, but it's also a brand new volume 1 because they went to a 2023 numbering system. So this collects numbers 1 to 5 of that run. So although it says 4 on the side, you can actually jump straight in there. Comics. And then we finish off with Spider-Boy, which is from Dan Slott and Paco Medina. This collects the first 4 issues of Spider-Boy, as well as material from Edge of Spider-Verse and The Amazing Spider-Man number 31 as well. So get to know the sidekick Spider-Man, and you never knew he had. So yeah, as I say, a slightly quieter week with the new stuff coming in. We do have 1 or 2 other deliveries, hopefully before the end of the week. So again, we will be packing out those displays as much as possible for Free Comic Book Day this Saturday. So as ever, hope this proved useful. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Check back later, and we'll have the single issue video up as well for new releases this week. So hope to see you on Saturday. Take it easy.